Hello. Ah. Ouais. Ah. Ah. Yeah, it was a great day. Yeah, it was a great day. Anybody got any questions or charts we want to go over? I can start with futures today. Just trying to find this. Alright, I'll check out so after I do Nasdaq. Nasdaq is um you just have to play levels. I like to play levels. You could tell how it's been going level to level. like to play levels, you could tell how it's been going level to level. And I knew we would have a little power pump right here. Dumped. This is a good zone right here. We would have a little power pump right here. Dumped. This was a good. The buyers. You gotta think of it as buyers versus sellers. This zone was won by the buyers, big time. I actually barely stayed in this zone. Echo. Is my hearing an echo? Is it still echoing right now? I have no clue how to work this thing. Alright, is there an echo now? Seems good now. Okay, so looking at futures, I knew that right here, sellers were winning it, tapped here. Buyers can just completely destroyed it, and this became a great support zone right here. I had a feeling we topped out right here. We saw a decline before Powell. I knew if we would get in the zone, buyers would want to take this back. They don't want to, they don't want to drop down here. So it's pretty good. Drew a triangle at open, broke Adobe taking off. That's not good. Broke out his triangle. You just got buyers. I'm pretty sure buyers will not want it to go below this zone at all. So this is good. Before, I knew when we hit 13K, I knew right here when we hit it again that no way that buyers would want to take it over again or lose this zone, because this would have definitely went way down. So I'll take a look at Solo. Solo is just something you could get a far out call for cheap. I have this nice downtrend right here. We actually broke the downtrend. Broke it here, tested here, took off, and right now we're flagging. I like that. So I expect this to go up even more. You could probably hit 515. So a pretty cheap contract, kind of one you could get far out. Hopefully it'll hit, $9, $10. Get lucky on that one. I do not trade full time. I do have a full time job. Kind of did this on the side as fun, and it just got a little too serious, so I had to take it on calling. Let's see, Adobe. Yeah, worst comes to worst with Solo, you could possibly come back down to here and take off again. But it kind of broke out here, came back in. Yeah, it's just definitely something. Hold on, just hold on to it for a while. Don't worry about being down. Eventually you'll catch it. In a good day. This is like one of my favorite ways to trade is, finding this downtrend. You're looking for the break and the retest of that downtrend. And that's my favorite time to play it. PT right here, PT right here. So PT would have been 450 and then about 5. We hit about I mean, you could have gotten out at 450 right here. Would have been good. Let's go on. XPEV. There's my XPEV chart. I played it about down here. EVs were beat down, even though everyone thought when Biden would take office that EVs would be crazy, but they honestly didn't do anything. I'm gonna try to figure this out. Yeah, it is a little. They could fall short term, but EVs are really popping right now. I mean, I turned my attention to Lee, which I feel like is a tad bit behind XPEV. I'm hoping to get it up to 37, see what happens there. I'm in a far out call that I called out the other day on this one. Gold, I really don't play gold or silver. Really nothing you could predict here. I mean, I could see it coming back, testing this downtrend, and then going. I honestly don't know everything behind gold and silver and how it works. I really don't try to look into it. I feel like a lot of people just use it as a hedge against the market. How do I find my tickers? I have a watch list of about 217 stocks right now. I add some, and I usually take away more than I add. I could actually share this watch list after I get off the stream. Just I've been taking some off because volume isn't good on the contracts that I like. I keep looking at it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. I'm not gonna get into that. Try to bring this up. I also use TradingView, their stock screener. I've took me a while to get this all set up, but I do like how it works. I could check. I always like to look at the pre-market volume. You're looking for pretty big volume institutions buying in like SE. If I would have saw this in pre-market, I would have played this at open. So I missed it. I really didn't look at this morning. And then also you could go to change percent. You could see the volume, 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, hour, all at once. Or not at once, but you can click through. You can see what's giving pops, what's hour, but still strong, space right here on all times. You could also click down here, 15 minute. You can see the 15-minute volume. Ford's always up there. AMC, interesting. SQQ, that means the market probably was going to dump a little bit at end of the day, which I think it did. But you could just go through. This is a good way to find out stocks that are breaking out or consistent throughout the day. I like to see all of a sudden if I see like something's up 6%, I'm just like, oh, I'm going to look into that. But I just basically trade the same stocks. You gotta look at your tech versus your SPX stocks. When one runs, usually one doesn't run as fast. And right now, as you can tell, SPY is not doing so well. It's not really doing anything. I mean, you look at this chart. And then you go ahead and look at the NASDAQ, and you're like, okay, well, SPY's lagging behind. Because everyone wants to put their money into tech right now. Tech is technically the future. Oops. NASDAQ hit all-time high today. I'm going to raise that up. But something I do every night as my little routine after eating dinner. I go through my list and I just basically run down them. I try to stick. I don't look that far back. So this is my AMC chart. Played that breakout. Played this breakout. And let's see if we can get past what is this, 64.50 technically. And it can make some moves for an all-time high. But you know, I'm just looking at the maybe this week, 2 weeks. I like to put on extended hours. Just adds another thing to it. And I just go down it. Like Lee, you can tell Lee right here. Boom. Over 29. I mean, it's sometimes it's better to simplify things. I don't use all these indicators. I don't use all these crazy different things. I just use support and resistance. Right here, Lee, once I get over to 29, took off. Could have been a great play today. Twillo, same thing. Every time it gets to here, it keeps bouncing. That took off. Now I'm just looking down. It's helped to find things that are consolidating. This right here, this could be a good play for tomorrow. Sun Power over 27. Yeah, Sun Power over 27. I'll definitely keep that on my watch list. XPEV, you can see how I already have them set up. Here, I like to kind of use whole or even integers, 40 and a half, 39 and a half, 38 and a half. These are kind of every dollar though. Doesn't always work out like that. But I'm just going through and just trying to find things that are consolidating. Like the video, you could have played this in the video over at yesterday's high. Probably this low. No, that's an NDM, sorry, not a video. Yesterday's high, which actually was previous support. It was a resistance, broke above it today. You know, I'm just going down past couple days. Right here, QFIN, like 43 and a half looks like a support now. So tomorrow, what I like to see, if I would play this, I like to have it come back to the support. Kind of go up and watch it bounce off that and see what happens from there. That's my perfect ideal play right there. Which do I prefer? I usually watch the 5-minute or 10-minute when I trade. Sometimes I use 3, but usually a 5-minute. On the weekends when I chart, I actually start from the monthly. Gives us a good idea of what's happening on the monthly. Gives you good monthly supply and demand zones, which you can play really good. Shop as a example. Let's remove the drawings. So you can tell every time shop came down to here, it would bounce back up. And then you look at the top part. Every time shop came to here, Only did it once, though. Actually, did it twice. If you count that one, you can bring it down a little bit. Bounce out. It's just bouncing back between these two zones. And this is the monthly. So if you break it down to the daily, you're looking to get it when it breaks out of the zone and ride it all the way up. Came back down to the zone, rides up. Down to the zone, rises up. And currently right now it's over it. Alright. Wants to break over. That's why I'm looking at SE. That's why I called SE today. There's my chart on SE. We'll go monthly. Remove the drawings so I can show you guys. So I played SE a couple times right here. Use this as a support zone. And before this month, this would have been the resistance zone. It's just when it, on a monthly chart, when it reverses. You tell buyers come in down here, sellers go away, buyers come in, bring it up, bring it back down. On the weekly, you could definitely tell on the weekly. Kind of adjust this. Up, down, up, down, up. And I expect it to keep going. That's why I got into it. It's a nice risky play. If it keeps going, it could turn out to something like UPS that I played right here. One of my favorite plays right here. Bounce, 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 and then gone. That was a fun one. CRSR. So CRSR is a short squeeze. Unfortunately, it really doesn't do anything. I played it, and I actually made really good money. I just thought of it as it's playing in this box. Trading in this box since March 3rd. It's either going to break up or down. Broke up, took profits. 100%, 200%, whatever it was. I'm not looking for it to continue. I just, took a really long call out. It was probably 3 weeks, basically worthless. And it paid. So I just knew this is a nice consolidation. Eventually it's going to break down or it's going to break up. And I took a chance. Back to how to chart, but just like this, supply and demand. Like this, pretty simple. Every time it comes down, pops back up. Every time it comes down, pops back up. But it's such a small area it's been playing between. So I'm going to draw a box here. And it actually broke out, came back in. Yeah, it was a nice play. Just took a chance. Wall Street Bets kind of took it over. Earnings, yeah, I mean, that was a great earnings. I don't know how much in this company. I played this little flag before, kind of flag. Played this little bit thing over here. I've got the magnets. Your little call is good. Timing, missed that one. So yeah, Lulu, I played this about 3 times now. Here's one of my favorite setups. I played this blue downtrend break. Came down here, I think I got it out around here, tried it again. One of my PTs was probably like 136. As you can tell, if you zone it up, notice how every time, where's my So every time it hits this, comes down. And then you can just play that trend. Eventually it's going to break out of this, either up or down. Just play the bounce. Back up. That's what I did with Apple. Apple chart. Play the bounce off this long trend from September of 2020. ARK ETF. ARK, I played this put when it broke out of this triangle right here. ARK used to be fun when people didn't scrutinize her so much. I remember when she used to buy DraftKings. DraftKings would go up 6-7%. Now it's DraftKings would go down. I guess they're anti Kathy Woods. But this is a good one. You can just find this trend up right here. Let me go to the 4 hour. Let's find the trend up in the 4 hours. So you just play it off this downtrend. I would say if ARK ever gets to 105, 106, get calls. You know, under 110, get a long call. He usually plays with the market. I told my Discord if the market would dump yesterday and we go into correction, get ARK puts. Probably one of the most simplest, easiest put you could do because it just it goes with the market. Yeah, it just goes with the market. So if the market's just, it is what it is. I was looking at it when COVID hit, basically doubled. When COVID hit, which is really good, but it's kind of changed a little bit. People are against Kathy and some of the decisions she makes and the stock she buys. Like she's all basically full portent in PLTR, and PLTR doesn't move. But once PLTR takes off, ARK should take off. How do I create my watch list? Do you mean like on the daily, weekly, or just my overall? My overall one is just, it's my blue list. So I can swing over so you can see. So yeah, I just have a blue list. For day trade. So I just have a blue list that go through, and these are all the tickers I would play. I know that I happen to know, not like personally, but know the stocks. It's just not like a random one when you see it play call out something really weird and you're like, oh, I didn't know that was a stock. I would not play that. It's best for stocks to be around a while, like Apple and Microsoft. You could read the stocks. How do I find my watch lists? I just go through my main watch list every day. Watch on, I usually like the 4 hour. I showed this before, 4 hour. I like to turn extended hours on because I like to see these little bumps. Like right here, I'd play AMC over 64.5. For short term, you're really looking. What's the PT for ARK? Let me just finish up this question first. So I'm just going through my watch list. I usually look back a week or two. If I really want to look back, I can. Yeah, like right here. I've already picked levels where it bounces off. You can see it bouncing here. You can play it here. When it rejected, you know it would come back down. Eventually, it's going to come back and retest that. And every time it retests a resistance, the resistance gets weaker, especially in the bull market. So retested here, rejected. So I could see it coming down a little bit. Let me test this one and then go on. Or it could short squeeze tomorrow, but that's a short squeeze, kind of a just grab a long call and forget about it kind of thing. But I just go through it like this. Twillo, you can see it consolidating back and forth, back and forth. So you can say, hey, Twillo, I could be like, if Twillo gets above, let's find an even number, 345. I might look into calls. And that's what I did today. So you could have rode that up, made some good money. And I just go through this every day. Like some power, I said some power above 27. Look into, tapped here, and came up, tapped again, came down a little bit. That's why you buy longer contracts, because it could go back down here and then finally back up. That's why I say when you average down, when you see the reversal happen, don't look at the contract price, look at the chart. Let's find something. Jemiah played, I knew. Actually, could play this right here. Look at this. See if I can get it all in the chart. So Jemiah picking a level right here. So many times tap, and eventually the stock's above it, came down, and this random wick right here, tapped it too, and became a resistance again. I like to make it a whole number, or close to a whole number if it looks good, so 28.8. Then you look at it on the daily. Look what it did today. Tapped 28.8 today. Came down. Tapped again. Broke out. Retested it. Broke out. Another resistance. Resistance right here. Tested it. Went through it. Came back down. Tested it and went. Tested here. Tested here and eventually came back down, and this is consolidation zone. So I mean, just go through your watch list. I play support and resistance. Like net, really should have played above 96. Would have been a good one, but I played above 88. I played this before. I think I called it last week. Came down, tested, went. This is why sometimes some of my swings do go negative. Not negative, but down. You play the breakout, and it can come down and retest. So my stop loss would have probably been if the stock hit 68, like 86.50, 87. I knew it's going to come down and retest. Sometimes I like to play the breakout, or sometimes I do like to play the retest. But if you are getting an August call, being down is nothing bad. You see the retest and you see the bounce off the retest, you average down right there. You're not averaging down, oh, I'm down 50% of my contract, I'm averaging down. Oh, that's not the way I look at it. AMD. Played this today. This is the hourly. Right here's my, you can see this nice support resistance zone right here. Started right about here. Came down, was flagging. I saw a lot of flow go into it. Got on a small account challenge. I was basically worthless, and finally took off today. This is why I like to buy. If you're gonna swing this, you're noticing this flag. Try to buy it when it bounces off this thing. Play it up. At the top part of flag, you're going to trim and leave one runner. If it comes down, you know, stop loss out. Came down, play it again. Right here, when it crosses here, you know, trim some, half out, leave a swinger, and then just watch it go. Because it could have been bounced here and came back down. Just could have been flagging forever. And then I just non-stop going through this. Square, you can tell 222 on square. A nice support and resistance line. You can't really think of them in line. You gotta think of them as zones. They're not gonna be perfectly on the dot. So right here, until it came down, looking for consolidation or taps. So it tapped here, came down, nice wedge, came up, kind of consolidated for a little bit, came down, tapped here. So I actually had an August call that I got stopped out of though on this right here, but I did play it today. Came back up, tapped here, tested here, broke out, came back, retested. Now it should be gone. Does everyone understand that? Like how I play that? You're just breaking, you know, you're just finding these. I mean, full picture on square. You know, you want a long-term PT on square. You're shooting for 274. Hopefully, this could get up to 274. You know, bounce back, bounce. You know, you're just looking for these stocks. This is why I don't. You know, these new stocks and stuff like that. I like to have ones that have been around for a while. You're just playing the bounce back and forth, and then you want to take it to the next level. Pins still filling a gap. Z could be this could be a potential play. This is on the daily. I'll show in the video in a second on how I played it. It actually was a perfect flag breakout. So Z kind of looks like CRSR, just trading in this box. So you actually could take out September calls. If I would pick PTs, right there would be one. Let's just say 141. You got 126, 141. So you could go 112, 126. With September calls, I mean, it could be consolidating back and forth. I actually could break down. They call it what, a springboard effect, and it could just go up. It's actually a good play. Nvidia. Hopefully, I didn't delete my. So Nvidia, this is a flag. Flag right here. What you do is you take the flag pole, which is top of the bottom. I just clone it, drag it up here, basically upside down flag if you want to call it that. Boom, 690. This is why I was so confident that it, you know, the video would hit 690. Of course, the stock split definitely helped with everything. Up, consolidated back down to the 690, took off, consolidated down, and just took off today. This is a stock I would just day trade from now on. It's hard to gauge things from all-time highs. If I would play this again, I would just kind of find a pattern in it. Right here. Let's see. It's a nice little triangle forming on the 15-minute. So let's see if it can go back up, down, and then break above it again. I think they say 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe fifth gone. But this is kind of like a day trade, all-time highs. I don't like to play all-time highs. I like to play stocks that are beaten down and have potential to go even higher. You want to buy low, sell high. You don't want to sell high and or buy high and sell higher. Just go through a couple more. Let's see what trades I took today. Go through a couple of those. Square, I took off the bat. I saw a huge contract. Someone bought huge into it. Run. I was kind of late to the party on Run. This is another one of my favorite kind of stocks to do. You know, you're looking for this downtrend and you're waiting for it to break. Broke, retested it, took off. It has a gap right here about 55. So if you would have played here in like September, October calls, you'd be up a pretty penny right now. PTs would have been this little wick. That wick. See, that looks pretty good there. You got this gap right here. So you could have played PTs, buy 5 contracts. You know, you're buying long calls. You know, come Friday, it's not going to be worthless. That's why I like swinging. You get to find these setups. What was the setup? Chewy was another one I played like this. There's my Chewy chart. Take some of these out. Let's play this. Chewy right here. Saw his downtrend. I think I played on this second green daily candle. I wanted to push back towards this downtrend. I played it from here back towards the downtrend. I think I got out of it at the downtrend because earnings were coming up. And I got back in when it broke over. So I came back, retested, took off. Baidu. Let's see another trade I took today. AMD showed pins. It's just pins I actually took. I think I have an Alcus call that I'm about break even on. Pins on the daily right here. This is a job. I need to get more long calls on pins actually. This reminds me of CRM. So I remove the drawings on CRM. I played CRM multiple times. Oh, that's just a weekly. On a weekly, you can see this easy flag form. Right here, played down here, came back, tested, broke out. I think it went crazy after earnings. Yeah, here's the earnings, gapped up, broke out of it, came back in, but kept going. But we're just looking at, I can't remember what chart we were just looking at. But yeah, just go through I mean, go through your watch list. I like to go through them every day, see how things changed on the daily, write things down. There's one I played with lows. Just back and forth between these two zones. Eventually, buyers won this zone, and it took off. Um, if you look at it as, you got to look at the stock market in the eyes of the people actually putting millions and millions of dollars in. They know these zones, so every time the stocks gets down here, they already have a buy order in down here. They let the market come to them. They don't go to the market. So once it comes down here, they take it back up. Roblox, I wanted to get a long call on that, but just going through charts. Let's see, another PDD was Pips puts played, Jemiah, Docu. Let's look at Docu chart. Docu, I played this downtrend break. You can tell right here. This is a perfect example. Every time it touches 185, 186, it comes back up, comes down, touches it, back up, comes down, back up. Every single time. Broke below. They call it a spring. I think it's a springboard effect. Stock springboard effect. Maybe, kind of, sort of, I don't know. But I think I played it back down here. I knew it'd come up. You could never try to time the bounce. You always wait for the next daily candle to turn green after the bounce. Rode up, downtrend break, beautiful downtrend break. Played it. I had my PTs. Had a look up here. It's about to fill. And then anything could happen after that. If you look at the monthly, I mean, it's pretty simple. All it's doing it on the monthlies, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So this is what you want to play. Docu's been around. This is a pretty old stock. Back and forth, back and forth. Play it when it hits the bottom. Play it to the top. Get out. I don't like playing puts. You can play puts. Ride it back down. Eventually, you want to see a breakout, like it did here when it first opened up. Back and forth, back and forth. I mean, look at that huge breakout, 46 to 185. If that does it again, that'd be awesome. But this is like my ideal favorite way, and you're looking for that last downtrend. You just go through them. You know, I have multiple watch lists, daily watch lists, weekly watch lists. I put watch lists, contract prices on Webull. It's a good way to. That's how I got into Lulu. I noticed the price on one of my old plays. I kept on my watch list. I just noticed the price was going up, going up. I'm like, interesting. I knew Costco was going up. I cut that play yesterday. I shouldn't have because it turned green today. I was just noticing it kept going up. Looked at it. Noticed the strange wick on it. Right here, this huge long wick. Came back down, tested this downtrend break, and actually got into it on the 16th. Probably after Paul talked. Came down test here. Took off. Anyone else have any questions or charts you want to let me look at? Coin chart. Coin's hard right now because it's a new stock. So what you're really doing with coin is just trying to time the bottom, which I do not like to because you're risking your whole contract into it. Long term, yeah, coin could be good if you're able to afford a September October call. It's actually a nice wedge. Go like this up, take that away, right here. Just play this. It could go up here, back down, up, down. Could go down, or could go up. On this, I always like to say the PT is at the top of the wedge, so the PT would have been 251 in the long term. Yeah, just going through. You got to know your different what do you call it, sectors. You gotta figure out sector rotations. Always helpful. Where money's going, where money's coming in. I always like to look at this stock market map on FinViz, and Webull on the computer does it based on your watch list, which is really interesting. Sorry if it's cut off. I really can't do anything to change that. Skip. Oh, skip. But you can see, you can tell what industries are going. This is the daily one. All these greens, financials are taking a hit. Insurances, banks, all these basic materials took a hit today. Energy, industrials, aerospace. You could do it on the weekly, you could do it on the monthly, you could do it however you want. And just figure out what sector's green, which one's red. So basic materials is actually probably, I wouldn't mess with that. What is this? The month? Some monthly consumers are down, except for Target. Might be interesting. Probably why I like Costco so much. Yeah, just constantly going through your stock, your watch list. Just not, it's boring. It's like nonstop. Any more questions? Anybody? Facebook was a nice one. Playing, I'll do it without extended. Or it looks like it was with the extended. Facebook's just breaking its downtrend. Down here, up, broke through this level, played the downtrend again. Yesterday took a hit, bounced off this downtrend, back up. Above 338, you can see it get this wick filled at like 340. Which is good long-term PT. 340. It was constantly. DraftKings actually have I had an alert on this downtrend break that never happened right here. You actually see the alert. Okay, you can see the alarm clock. It just never happened because the shorted news that came out. I got into it because I thought it dipped really good. 48.50, 48 seems like a good support. 48 actually seems like a really good support. Played to bounce off 48. Hopefully we'll finish up this gap fill, which almost did, but didn't yet. Saw this daily just perfectly off the 48 started. Opened up at the 48. Spotify is one that I want to get into, just haven't yet. To have an alarm, the alarm was triggered right here. Actually came back down though. It has two gap fills above. So this is like almost a perfect setup if you have enough money in your portfolio to play long calls. Just wait for it to. Probably could get into it now, but probably gotta test this gap fill a couple times. I bet beforehand. That would be ideal. In the perfect world, right there. Visa actually holding this rising wedge. I ain't touching banks right now. Airbnb. I've been getting into this a lot lately. I'm playing this run back up to this downtrend. I've been playing that. Pretty nice downtrend. That's a big 220. That's $100. So over a 50% loss from its top, which is huge. So I was like, okay, it's gonna reverse soon. Possibly could keep going lower. You never know. But I'm playing to this downtrend. I get out around the downtrend and see if it could break above. Microsoft has been pretty easy to play. Let's play this, bounce off this uptrend every day, or not every day, but every time. Every time it goes off, bounces. Autodesk. If I want to play my TA, this should drop. I can't adjust the cam. I have to figure this program out. I'm like using a super small square in my on my computer because I can't figure out how this whole thing works. Really haven't been doing live streams that long. But according to my TA, back and forth, broke below. Actually retested it today. Could not hold. looking at 30-minute till it broke below, cannot hold. I'd play it if it could break. If it could break below like 275, would be 276, 275 to be safe. And what I do on this, take a picture. I send this to my personal Discord. Take a picture. You could add an alert. Crossing horizontal line. And I say go long, or actually short. Autodesk short, and then I'll have a picture. So when this alert goes off, it will show. Oh, that alert's not right, but it'll show the picture and why I got into it, and all that. You guys have any charts you want me to look at? Anything? There's Uber. I actually want to play Uber when I got over like 51, 52, but just never did. Just trading in this flag right now. AMC, my favorite. AMC I got already marked up. Adjust this a little bit. AMC right here, it's just trading through these zones. Up, down, broke below, came down. This is a good support resistance. Broke over, back and forth, back and forth. Let me see if I can. Tapped here, came down, rejected here, came down. And my perfect situation, I'd like to have it come down here. Gone. It's tapped it once now, twice. It's about 64.50. If it gets over 64.50, you'll see me get a call. Just keeps right here. This is what, since June 14th. So just recently, back, forth, back, forth. Could come back down. Could go, could just be doing this. Okay. Try that again. I could just be doing this number for a little bit. This is why you get a longer expiration. $51.50. $51.50 support. I'm saying the ideal would be like like 55, 55 and a half. Let's see why. Yeah, 55 and a half because it came up. You could say 56. See how it's bouncing here. Came back up. This is a good support right here. So I'd like to see it. Could see this go. But it's a short squeeze. Unfortunately, with short squeezes, they can just do whatever they want. So much volume is being pumped into stock that you really don't know what's going to happen. People are just playing it because they want the 1,000%. They're not looking at the charts. That's why I don't like Dogecoin. People are just playing it because it's Dogecoin. They don't look into the charts. I like TA. I play TA. That's another one I've been looking at. Well, maybe not. Kind of bear flagging. Bear flag right there. Should break below. Just going through the watch list. Solo, went over that one. Marvel. Marvel is one I should have played this downtrend break, but I just did not get into it. I can't find any contracts that I liked. Open, just waiting. I played this a few times. I played down here, back to the downtrend. Right here, I played again to the downtrend. Now it's just hovering around this downtrend. Dash. Look at a monthly. Oh, it's a just recently came out. You really can't tell. Just playing zones up, down, up, down, up, down. That's what was it in the video today? Or Roku? Yeah, Roku today. See how my zones were built on the way up. I should really have one down here-ish. 334 on the dot. Play it up, up, down, up, down. You know, they're just bouncing off these lines. Lines are like $2 or $4 apart. They're not that far apart. And then the other day, it just completely destroyed them all. And then today, ideal situation would have been if I would have saw market open. Yeah, that was market open. Okay. My ideal play would have been market open. This 3-minute market open took to 339, came back. I would have noticed it ticking over 339, bounced off 342, and I would have waited it to cool down and wait for it to bounce over 339. And then, you know, just keep riding it up. Just simple support and resistance zones. Once you learn how to draw them, they become a lot easier. You'll notice them a lot. Let's see what it looks like on a monthly. Okay, or not. On the daily, the daily is a huge flag. I'll play this breakout right here. This was a good support to get into if you would have timed that up. Good support bounce up. Earnings. Just playing these trends. There's Frog that I actually showed someone I did a one-on-one with. Broke below. Found a support. Reversal. And I said I'd come back up and test this downtrend. We played it. I told them they could play it below this gap fill. So actually this would have really paid well. From 33 to 45. Eventually hopefully get up, test that downtrend. Sun W wants to break from this downtrend. Those are my PTs right there, 23, 12, 13. This is actually a good one to get shares, and I tried showing most people to grab shares on that. T-dog, inverse head and shoulders. So you gotta like look back, downtrend break, broke out, tested, gone. Same with this. When it broke out of here, you played the puts, retested it, came down, and then you're just waiting for the reversal. The reversal was this strong green candle, and that's what I would have gotten into it if I would have saw that. So it tells you, oh, right there. There's your support. Tells you buyers don't want to price any lower. Just roll it back up. FSR. I played that downtrend break. I did not get back into this. I was watching it. Broke it, tested it, kind of consolidating. Fastly could be a good one to look into. Did the gap fill, just consolidating on the gap fill right now. Kind of a nice little triangle. Right here. Right there. Breaks above it. What you're doing, you can play the breakout. Get out here, wait for the retest. Get out here. If you're buying multiple contracts, play the breakout. Sell most of them here. When you see the reversal back to the retest, leave a runner because it could keep going. Not everything retests. That's why you leave that runner. Once that runner, you start losing money on that runner, I'd cut it. Wait for a retest. Wait for it to go. Yeah, that one's pretty simple. It's actually beaten down. Chegg was another one I was looking at. I think it was on my weekly watch list a couple weeks ago. Just some stock that used to be $112 and now it was $72. Just playing the bounce back up. If I chart this, I take this high like that. That's the downtrend. You're playing to the downtrend. Get out, wait for it to break over, and play again. Alright, I'm gonna get off, y'all. Start making some dinner. Appreciate it. Make sure you guys subscribe, and definitely start doing these more often. Good, easy way to go over my watch list. Alright, everyone have a good night.